Hello, hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello! Let's have a little fun, shall we? We're looking into unicorn magic, so let's see what the unicorns have to say to you. Maybe you're really resonating with unicorn magic. Maybe you feel like you're a unicorn. Crystals must be really important. They're now showing me this, that are linked to the Lemurian energies, actually. Lemurian and Atlantean energy, I want to say. I forgot the name of them, but they're quite amazing, and they somehow came into my readings almost like by accident. So I wonder if that is a message for you, how certain crystals almost come to you by accident, but it's not an accident. It's very intentional because they're coming to you at the right time, at the right place. Same as this one. This is actually volcanic glass, which is unbelievable, right? How the earth is making that. And then you have the other volcanic glass, which is black obsidian, which I don't have here at this time, but there's something in there, like how, you know, the light and the dark, how they both coexist and can even be created in the same places depending on the environment. So there must be a message for you in there too. Let's see this one. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. This can be a bit of a triggering card. I realize that. And since we're starting with the light and the darkness here, love from your parents. Now, that's why I'm saying it can be a triggering card. It depends on how you grew up, right? If you haven't grown up in the nicest household, then that can be triggering because it can be really hard to hear, love from your parents when you haven't actually received that. Now, hear me out before you click off, because I feel like this is important, especially if this is a little bit triggering to you. Believe me, to me, this is triggering sometimes also, okay? But we're getting somewhere with this. No matter what, your mother and father love you as much as they can. Wow. And that cut me off throat right away. It's like, whang. Wow, love you as much as they can. And that can only be true. It can only be true because a person can only love you as much as they love themselves. Now, if they hate themselves, they're going to hate you. If they're really mean to themselves, they're going to be really mean to you. That's just like how this works and how this is playing out. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yes, okay. I want to inquire a little bit more here. Some of you may become parents or new, and that could also, pet parents could be the case here. And there's something about the love, the unconditional love that you have either passed on to your children or that you're going to pass on to your children, or that could even be the children of other people and or pets, okay? And there's something very, very healing in this, and how there's a lot of forgiveness. And that's what I wanted to say earlier to you also, is when we're holding on to grudges, and I'm not saying jump into forgiveness straight away, because when there's still a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, you cannot jump into forgiveness. I am sorry. You can say it 10,000 times and it's still not, you're not going to be there. There are certain emotions that you need to work through if this card was triggering for you. And it can be triggering at different times, right? It doesn't always have to be triggering. The beauty of healing processes, right? I mean, wow. And then watch your life flow and go in the right directions and pathways once you're reaching forgiveness, once you're reaching gratitude for your parents. And that is when you came full circle, because before you come full circle, you will not be happy about what has happened. I want to say here, okay? I really need to say this. This one, yes. No way. Oh my God. Okay. So remember when, of course you remember, you just watched it, when I said Lemuria, like with the crystals, you indeed have Lemuria, and we do have those colors. We do have those turquoise colors. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Okay, this is very significant because you're the creator of this. And here is something very important about the healing processes, the internal healing processes that are so important to create the new. Because once you've seen darkness and discovered it within you, externally, you know what's happening, okay? That's it. Once you heal it. If you're doing this, you won't see it, obviously, nor will the people around you, most likely, okay? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. But to create that heaven on earth, you would have had to heal quite a bit here when it comes to your ancestors, because now I'm getting the ancestral lineages of your mother, of your father, that were really, really important for you to heal. You may identify as the black sheep within your family, or maybe even as the golden child, and you may have had to heal those patterns, my dear, in order to step into this gloriousness. So there's a lot of forgiveness. There's a lot of, oh my God, to some of you, you did so much work. You put in so much work until you were there. You were relentless, my sweetheart, so that you could be either a good parent or that you wouldn't pass it down the family lineage, so that so that you would show up as a healed person and not bleed on others during the whole process. So you did so much work, and finally I feel peace with this. Finally peace, finally tranquility, finally understanding. So to some of you, at some stage during this journey, what must have occurred was falling into the place of, I am at peace now, like that immediate. And that's so funny, because you heal yourself for years and years and maybe decades, and then all of a sudden it comes in and you're like, oh, that's what that feels like. This is what security feels like. This is what safety feels like. This is what peace feels like. And before then, you don't know. This is what unconditional love feels like. I could go on. And then all of a sudden, you're falling into that place. Oh my God. And same with forgiveness, by the way. All of a sudden, you're falling into this. All of a sudden, you feel overwhelmed by gratitude for what has happened to you, because you realize it has actually happened for you, and that the players, your parents, whoever else did this to you, and if you're triggered by it, I get it, then you're not there yet. Then you shouldn't make yourself feel like you're there yet, because you're not, which is perfectly fine. I really want to validate you in your feelings here. Do not feel anything that isn't there before. It makes no sense. And what I was going to say with regards to parents and the contracts, and not just parents, others too, there are karmic contracts in place, and sometimes even soulmate contracts in place, although in this case I feel very karmic, so also past life. This is interesting. Past life contracts, you know how we're meeting the same people throughout different lifetimes until that is done, until we learned our lesson. And I do believe part of your lesson here is to forgive and to completely let this go. And there's mastery in this for sure. There's a spiritual evolution that is indicated for that reason here, okay? This is really, really big. This is actually really big. Okay. We have healing with the angels that wants to come in for you. Let me see. Let's keep this a little bit more clean over here. Yeah, there's something about keeping your energetic field clear and clean, and keeping your space clear and clean, because it does have an effect truly, like on your state of being. Also, I highly recommend, as you're going through these processes, routines are really, really important and can be super beneficial. What do you have this one? Yeah. New beginnings. You're definitely stepping into the new here, which is really wonderful to see. And there's so much forgiveness. It's like, okay, to some of you, when you're starting to have your own children, some of the things that your parents did to you, you will understand better, and you will understand, and there's no way you can have that type of understanding otherwise. Although they're correcting me here, they're saying that's not entirely true. When the angels take you to the higher realms here, then you will understand, because then you will feel those soul contracts, and that can indeed happens also sometimes in meditation, when you're going there with a question, how can you forgive this, and then they would show you the higher view of things and what it is. But there's also great understanding once you have your own children, or a non-understanding that can happen too, where it's like, can't believe you did this type of a situation. I would never. And then there are moments where you're like, yes, actually, I understand. We're all human beings type of a situation. But there is a grand new beginning that is indicated here, and a lot of forgiveness, and it feels like unconditional love is coming in with this, where it's just like you're accepting everything for what it was. And you see it for what it was, namely soul contracts, and namely something that sent you on a certain path and towards a certain trajectory here also, for sure, for sure. Read this now. Okay. And once you're there, like I said, with the forgiveness, everything is coming in, and there's huge change indicated, and indeed new beginnings, because the energetics of that cannot be underestimated either. Like once you're making that transition, it is quite something. This one, yes. Last one, yes. Okay, Heart and Soul Oracle is the last one that wants to come in here. Let's see what we have. What do we have here? What do we have here for those that... Ooh, this one, yes. Your angels are clearly with you, I want to say. Oh, wow. Massive one here. There you go. That's yours. Your angels are clearly with you here. The ancestors are with you, and they're rooting for you, I have to say. This card reads, I am one with the universe, one with the eternal goddess. She is a part of me. I tune into my heart, and she is there, surrounded by an infinite library of wisdom, knowledge, and love. The countless manifestations of the goddess, along with her great compassion, are expressed through me. And that's exactly what's also expressed in this card. We have great understanding, great wisdom, great transformation is definitely indicated here. This is incredible. So something, and this may very well be the title of the reading, something that you've been holding on to, but are finally able to let go and transmute and transform. And then there's nothing but beauty, and then there's nothing but oneness. Okay, truly, truly, this is not some BS type of a, oh, blah, 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 blah. No, you actually are going through it. You went through it, and you're healing yourself, and therefore you're healing the patterns here, and hence you no longer have to repeat it with these same people, the same circumstances, none of that. It seems there's great healing indicated, like tremendous healing indicated, and you brought it about. Congratulate yourself here, please. Like, pat yourself on the shoulder, on the back. It's like unbelievable, like that you made this happen, and it may indeed seem miraculous here, because it's really hard to believe that you actually brought this about from the parent situation then into the Lemuria and the creating of heaven on earth. And that's what it is, really, you know, transmuting the shadow into the light. This is why, part of why you came here, and this is how we create new earth. This is truly how it's done. It's like it starts with you. It starts with each and every single one of us. That's how it's done. Very well done. Congratulations. Yay. All right. I hope this was helpful and or insightful to you. If you need more help with it and more clarity, please reach out to me at universalpowertarot@gmail.com for a private consultation. You'll find all the offerings down below in the description box. And if you have more questions, just reach out and ask. And I'll be happy to help you and to answer. All right, my dears. May this have served you well. I'm sending you off with a lot of love, light, and shadow. Mwah.